Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So let's start with our lab session. So far, we have completed practical number one and practical number two. So has everyone completed practical two as instructed in the last lab? Yes or no? Give me the status. How many of you have completed? How many of you are doing? How many of you have just started? I want all the types of updates. I want all the types of updates from everyone. Those who have not completed, those who have not started yet, everyone should give me the update. Great. Okay, Man, I will get back to you in a moment. Yeah, others. Okay, Aditi is doing great. Meet. Okay, five. Okay, Nemish, five queries are left. That's okay. Harshit, that's okay. Jill. Yeah, what about others? Okay, Nandini is doing fine. Yeah, what about others? Poojan is doing okay, fine. Great, Bhavisha. Okay, Alay. That's great. Fine. Man, can you just write down your question? What is the query? Yeah, Man, can you just provide your query? Give me the question number of that particular practical list. We'll see to it. Loan table question number 7. Okay, just a moment. Okay, loan table question. Yeah. Display the loan amount into 2 of the table loan. Yeah. What is the problem here? You have to just write down like this. Select loan amount into 2 from loan. That's it. Loan. This was the only answer. This is what you have to write down within select. Select this from loan. That's it. Yes, exactly. Great. So we have completed practical 1 and 2. Almost have completed. Some are doing. Some are left with some of the queries. That's fine. No issues at all, students. But try to complete as soon as possible and upload it in the Google Classroom because last date is 25th of July. You know that. I hope so. Fine. So today we are going to start with the third unit. Sorry, not third unit, but practical number 3. And we are going to see actually the functions of SQL. We are going to talk about functions of SQL. Now, what actually the functions are? See, so far what we have done is we have seen that how to create a table using create table name syntax, right? Then we have seen that how to insert some data into the table. Then we have seen how to update a particular record or set of records. Then we have seen how to delete a particular row or set of rows. We have seen how to change the column name of a particular table using alter command. We have seen how to add a new column in the existing table using alter command. Then we have seen how to change the data type of a given column using alter command, the size of a given column using alter command, remove a particular column from the table using alter command, delete a table using drop command, and rename a particular table using rename command. So these are the commands that we have learned so far in practical 1 and 2. So is there anyone who is facing any issue with these commands, who has not understood or who is having any particular type of problem in any of the commands? Let us say also we have studied select command, that how to fetch data from the table. So is there anyone who is having any type of problem or any type of, I would say, issues with the any of the commands? Anyone first of all? No one is having issue, right? So I can move ahead. Okay, then let's move ahead with the SQL functions, and let me just share my screen. Right, so we are talking about SQL functions. So basically these functions are mainly used with the queries of select. We repeatedly use some type of functions in our queries because we want to retrieve or display or fetch some typical type of data from the table. So we require functions for it, and that is what we are going to learn today. That is SQL functions, right? So the first function is logical functions, or I would say logical operators. Right. So you already know what is logical operators are. You learned this in your PPS subject. That is AND operation and OR operation. So what do you mean by AND? AND and OR both are allowed to provide more than one conditions. Right. You are writing in PPS like if A greater than B and B greater than C and C greater than A, something about like that, right? So you are writing some multiple conditions using and or operator in PPS. Similarly, you can provide more than one conditions using and or operator, right? So and means whatever conditions you have provided in a statement, all the conditions must be true, right? All the conditions must be true. So whatever number of conditions I have provided in my select statement or any of the statement, all the conditions must be satisfied, all the conditions must be true. Similarly, what is or? Whatever number of conditions I have provided in a statement, either of any of the condition is true, it will be executed. That means it is not compulsory that all the condition must be true. Any condition is true, statement is going to get executed. I hope you know this thing. And an or operator, right? That and means all the conditions, or means any of the conditions, right? So let me take an example here. Let me take an example in my notepad file. So I hope it is visible to everyone, my notepad file, right? Let me just zoom it and have some more bigger fonts. So I want the data like this. Consider there is a student table, right? And I want the data list all the students whose percentage are greater than 50 and less than 90. So how do we write down this particular statement? What are the conditions here? There is a condition called percentage greater than 50 and less than 90. So those students who are having percentage more than 50 and less than 90, only those students details I want to show or I want to display. So how we will write down this answer? We will write down like this. Select star from student where, let us say, percentage stands for PER. So where percentage greater than 50, and then we will write down either capital or small, that is okay, and we will write down percentage less than 90. So this is what we are going to write. See here, I am having two different conditions, percentage greater than 50, percentage less than 90. So whenever I am using any logical operator, or if I am using more than one conditions, for all the conditions I need to write down the column name. Consider PER is a column name here. So PER greater than 50 and PER less than 90. You cannot write down like this, that PER greater than 50 and less than 90. This is wrong. If you write down this, it will be incorrect. right? So if you want to provide multiple conditions, provide column names with all the conditions like this. Clear with this, everyone? Am I clear with this? Yeah, any doubts in this? Anyone? Anyone? Any doubts in this? Okay, so let's go with the next one. Let us say list all the students whose who let us say who study in semester 3, 4, 5. This is what the question is. What is the question? I need to display all the students who study in semester 3, 4 and 5. So it means I have to list all the students who study in third semester, who study in fourth semester and who study in fifth semester. I have to give the data of all the students who study either in third semester or in fourth semester or in fifth semester. So this is what the question is. So how we will write down this? Anyone can write down the answer in the chat box. Select star from student where Yash, very good try, but it's incorrect. Where SEM equals to 3, because we have said that they can study in either of the semesters. So I want to display all the students who will be studying in either 3 or 4 or 5. So I will write down using or operator, not and, Harsh, because no student is going to study in 3, 4, 5 together. There will be different students in different semesters, right? So it is not a correct one. So answer will be like this. Select star from student where semester equals to 3 or semester equals to 4 and or sem equals to 5. This is the right answer. And there is no double equals to requires, Harsh, because we are not comparing, we are just assigning something using comparison. So there is no requirement of double equal to. So see, what does this mean? Display all the students who either study in semester 3 or in semester 4 or in semester 5. So if this condition is true, it will display all the students of semester 3. If this condition is true, it will display all the students of semester 4. And if this condition is true, then it will also display the students of semester 5. So this is what and or is. Am I clear? Am I clear with this, everyone? Give me your consent. Yes, why? No, N. You need to give me the consent. What about others? So everyone is clear? So now give me the answer for this then. I'm keeping this for your reference. Give me the answer for this. List all the students who scored who scored uh, who scored more than 45 marks and less than 90 marks, having or marks studying in fifth semester. I want this answer. You can consider the table as student, marks as marks, and semester as sem. Give me the answer for this. First, read the question properly, and then try to answer this. Okay, very good. Yash and Bhavisha, your answers are correct. So what is the condition? The conditions are students display all the students whose marks are between 45 and 90. So there are two conditions, more than 45 marks and less than 90 marks. And along with that, we have one more condition that student must be studying in fifth semester. So we have three and conditions. Exactly, we have three and conditions. So answer would be like this. Select star from student where marks greater than 45 and marks less than 90 and semester equals to 5. So now is it clear everyone? Because there are three different conditions and all three conditions must be satisfied. Clear with this everyone? Any doubts in this? Anyone? Okay, then give me the answer for this. List all the students who secured more than 80 percentage, who secured more than 80 percentage studying in, sorry the spelling is wrong, yeah, studying in semester 3 and 5, 3 5. Give me the answer for this. List all the students who secured more than 80 percentage studying in semester 3 5. Okay, so almost everyone's query is correct, but still, see, now there is a confusion here. You cannot predict this thing as and because it is said 3 comma 5. It is not like said 3 and 5. Comma always states or. Remember this thing. Comma always states or, not and. So this part will be given as an or part and this one will be as an and part. So that is what a quite mistake done by you all in the answers. Always remember whenever you find comma separated values in a exam, you have to consider it as a or only. Right? So what will be the answer here? Now, everyone, what will be the answer? Select star from student where percentage is greater than 30, no, 80 and SEM equals to 3 or SEM equals to 5. Either you do this bracket or not, it is not required or it is not compulsory. But here it will be or. Why? Because here it has been given as a comma separated value. If it was like who study in SEM 3 and SEM 5, then you have to write down and. Clear with this, guys? Comma means or. Again, I am repeating this. Clear, everyone? Any doubts? Okay, then give me the answer for this. I am writing the question next. List all the students who do not secure more than 80 percentage. This is what question is. List all the students who do not secure more than 80 percentage. Yeah, anyone now? Okay, fine. So some of them already used the relational operator less than. Yes, there is no exclamatory mark we can use in this particular SQL. Okay, so make sure this thing. Okay, Yash? Right, so whatever answer you have written is like this. Let me copy one of the answers from you and just paste it here. So you written like select star from students where percentage is less than or equals to 80 because the condition is more than 80. So it should be negative will be less than or equals to 80. All the students make sure you are writing this condition properly. It is not less than, it is less than equal to, right? Everyone, because the condition is more than 80. It is not like it is greater than or equal to 80. It is only more than. So here it will be less than or equals to 80. Clear with this? But still I want to write down this same query using different way. You have written where percentage less than or equals to 80. But instead of that, what I can do is I can use the same condition. This one. See, I am writing the same answer again. Select star from student where percentage greater than 80. I have used the same query that is written above this one, right? But now I want to negate this particular condition. That means I have to make this condition negative. We have the positive condition greater than 80, but now I have to make it negative. So what I will do to make any particular query negative or condition negative, what we can do is we have to just write down after where we can just write not. That's it. That means select star from student where not per greater than 80. So it is almost equal to this. Both are same. Percentage less than or equals to 80 or not per greater than 80. So both are same. This both are same. Clear? But which you will use? Which one would you would like to use? The first one, right? Because we don't want to get confused with this negative or negative query or negative conditions. So always use this one. Do not use this not operator. It is just for your reference. It is just for your knowledge. Clear, everyone? Any doubts? So far, any doubts? We have seen three things: and, or, and not. Any doubts? Okay, then let me go with the next question. I'll just enter and yeah. List all the students who secured percentage between 50 and 80. Write down the answer for this using AND operator. Write down this answer. You already know this answer. Select star from student where per greater than 50 and per less than 80. Is it right, everyone? Okay, greater than or equals to 50 or less than or equals to 50. Right, very good. Everyone, very good. Less than or equals to 80. Right, now the same query. This is the query you used using AND operator, right? You used AND operator. But still, if I want to write down the same query, then I can use one more command. And that command is, instead of using these relational operators, right? I will not use relational operator. Right? I will just use one command called between. That means select star from student where percentage between 50 and 80. We have used the logical operator and we have used the between command to directly find out all the records between this particular range of numbers, that is 50 and 80. So this is the other way you can write it down. Clear with this between operator? Between works as this only, less than or greater than equals to. But if you want to use directly between, you will remove these operators. If you want to use these operators, you are allowed to do. So which one you would find quite easy? You all will find easy to write down and to understand. Obviously the first one. We will use between only when it is required. Right? We will use between only when it is required. One, you can use the second one. It is totally dependent on you and your choice. All the students. It is not at all compulsory that you have to use only this particular type of syntax. Right? I can give you my best suggestion. But if you want to use some other thing, you are free to do it. Right? Okay, so is this clear? So if I negate this particular condition, then who do not secure who do not secure percentage between 50 and 80. Then what we will write? We will just add not keyword before between. That is where percentage not between 50 and 80. So it will give me all the percentage which are less than 50 and all the percentage which are greater than 80. Right? So we are going to use Yash, you have to write not after column name. So it will be like per, not between. Right. So is this clear, everyone? Between and not between keywords. Clear with this? Any doubts? Any of the 21 students studying right now? Any doubts from any 21 students studying right now? Yeah, any other doubts? Anyone? Fine. So let's move ahead. So this is what we have studied about how to write a different logical operator AND in a different way using between, right? Whenever you are using relational operator as well as the logical operator AND. So let us see how to write down the logical operator OR in different way. So let me just copy this and paste it below. So this is what the question is. We wrote the answer of this as you already know this one, right? Select star from student where semester equals to 3 or semester equals to 4 or semester equals to 5. So this was the answer. So I am using OR operator here, right? But I don't want to use OR operator, but I want to write down the same query in some different way. So for that, what we can do is we can write down like this. Select star from student where. This is all okay. This is the part that you have to write in all the queries. Select star from table name where condition. So column name is semester. Now instead of this or, what I want to do is I want to write down some other way. So I'll write down like this, where semester in into bracket I will just provide the values 3, 4, 5. So it will this in will work as OR for all the values. This in will work as OR for all the values. So this is what where semester in 3, 4 and 5. So either it will be semester in 3 or semester in 4 or semester equals to 5. This is the meaning of this. Clear? Clear? In means we are using multiple conditions or instead of we are providing a different way of writing the multiple conditions or. Clear with this in part? Clear with this? So if I want to write down the same thing, see list. If I want to write down the same thing, that selects list all the students who do not study in semester 3, 4 and 5. So what you will use? We have to use not operator, exactly. So how you will write down the query? We will write the query like select star from student where semester not in 3, 4, 5. Exactly. This is what we have to write. So this is in, not in, between, not between, and combination of and or. Clear with this, guys? Everyone? Is everyone clear with this? Any doubts? Anyone? Okay, if you don't have any doubts, then let me give you some exercise to perform, and you need to write down the answer in your chat box. Okay, so this is the PDF. I think it is visible to everyone, right? So just do one thing. Just do one thing. Give me the answer of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Quickly write down the answer of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 to 6. This is all the queries that you have learned so far. I'm just showing you 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. Write down the answer for all 6. Be quick. Okay, I got the first answer. Okay. Select star from account where city not in into bracket single quotes Ahmedabad. Both the answers are incorrect. Bhavisha and Yash. You cannot use equal to with not, and whenever you are using not, you have to use either not between or not in only. You are not going to use negate part. Yes, second query is perfectly right. Mohit, select star from account where city not in single quotes Ahmedabad, single quotes Vadodara. You cannot write down only Ahmedabad and Vadodara. No, Jill, the answer is incorrect. Keval, we cannot use exclamatory marks in the query. We don't want to use exclamatory marks. Yes, Bhavisha, not in, and then you should write down brackets and single quotes Ahmedabad. You should have brackets, right? Okay, so go for the second query now. Give me the right answer for the second query. What will be the second right answer for the second query? So the first answer will be like select star from account where city not in into brackets single quotes Ahmedabad. Then second answer will be select star from account where city not in into brackets single quotes Ahmedabad, comma single quotes Vadodara. केवल use single quotes in Ahmedabad and Vadodara. Okay, Mohit, third is right. That is, you are just going to write down, select star from account where balance between 50,000 and 1 lakh. That is okay. Then the fourth one will be you are going to use not between, right? Not between 50 lakh and 1 lakh, 50,000 and 1 lakh. Sorry. ये नीचे भेजा दिख रहा ये नीचे भेजा दिख रहा आवाज नहीं करतो तो खींचे ऐसा sorry for the disturbance, students. So write down the fifth and sixth query. So you already completed 1, 2, 3, 4. Not done the answer for fifth and sixth. બોલો છે સંભળાય છે બધા રેકોર્ડ થાય છે Yeah, sure. Sorry, students, just a moment. Sorry for the inconvenience and disturbance. Yeah, these are the queries. Great, Keval, answer is correct. Either you use or you will use in operator. Great. And in the sixth one, what you are going to do is you will use, yes, MUN, answer is right. No, answer is wrong, sorry. MUN, select star from account where amount equals to 5,000 or amount equals to 25,000 or amount equals to 30,000. This should be the right answer. So in the sixth query, you are going to use not in operator. In the sixth query, you are going to use not in operator. Right, exactly, Mohit. Perfect. 5,000, 25,000, 30,000, and we are using not in operator. So students, I request you to just make sure that you have all these chats with you so that you can write down the answers for these queries quite easily and you can perform these queries. So I hope it is clear between, not between, and, or, in, and not in. These are the 6 commands you have studied so far. Is this clear with everyone? Any doubts, anyone? Yeah, any doubts, anyone? Fine, so let me move ahead with the PPT. So let's go through very quickly. So we have seen logical operators and or. We have seen not operator. We have seen between operator. We have seen in, not in. So these are the operators we have seen so far. But the thing that we have not seen yet is like operator. So let us see now what is like operator. Let me go to my notepad. Let me remove all these things. I deleted all the things. So let me come back to the screen. Yeah. And now let's see what actually is like operator. Okay, so we are talking about like operator. So what is like operator? Let us say like operator is mainly used for string matching. Like operator is mainly used for string matching. Now what do you mean by string matching? String matching means you are comparing two strings, right? You are comparing two different set of characters. That is, you are going to compare two different set of characters, right? So this is what string matching is, and the syntax is select, then either you select all rows and all columns, or you select few columns. That is up to you, from the table name where condition. So this is what the syntax is, and the condition will have like operator. Here the condition will have like operator. Right, so this is generalized syntax of like operator. This is what you are going to use. So let's see now how to use like operator with different examples. So let me go and just write down one thing. Just give me a moment. Okay, fine. So yeah, this is my notepad file. Okay, so I'm just writing down one question, that consider the student table again. Consider the student table again. List all the students whose name starts with N. This is my questions. What is the question? List all the students whose name starts with N. So what do you mean by this statement? Anyone? Yes, don't be in too much hurry, right? Just wait for a moment, because it is not the correct answer actually. But you try it well, but don't be in too much hurry. Okay, first tell me, what do you mean by this statement? List all the students whose name starts with N. So what do you mean by this? Okay, anything else other than this? Whatever Yash has given the answer? Exactly, Harsh. Very good. I need to display all the students whose name has N as a first character. I need to display all the students whose name has N as the first character, right? So we also know that a name cannot have only one character. A name will be having more than one characters, right? But we are make sure that N should be the first character in the name. So display only those students who has N as a first character in the name. So if I take your example, I can see the list of students. Then if I say in month's name, there are two N, but N are not as the first position or the first character. So we are not going to consider this name. But if I say Nishita, then yes, we are going to consider Nishita, because N is the first character. Likewise, Nandini. So Nandini is also having the first character as N. So we are going to consider it, right? If I say Pujan, then Pujan is having N as the fifth character, not the first character. So we are not going to consider Pujan, right? So this is what the meaning is, that N should be the first character, and it can have as many numbers or as many characters after N, because name is never of one character, right? So how to write down this using the above syntax? So select star from student where, what is my condition? Mon. What is my condition here? What is my condition? Be quick. My condition is my name should have the first character as N. Rest of the characters can be anything. Name starts with M. So let us consider that the column name of name is S name. Consider that column name is S name. Then we are going to write down like, and then my condition is N. That is this. So we can say that N is the first character, but we have not said that after N there should be any number of characters. After N, it could be I, A, whatever characters you have as a name. But N should be the first character. So to put as many number of characters, to allow as many number of characters, we write down percentage. So percentage means as many number of characters, and here single quotes n means first character should be n. So how does it will work? It will fetch all the students whose S name will be like n as a first character followed by any number of characters. S as the first character, N as a first character followed by as many number of characters. Clear with this? How to use like? Yash, this was the mistake in your query. You have to use column name before like command or like operator. So is this clear everyone? Like operator. Any doubts? Anyone? See, in GTU exam in queries, there are compulsory 2 questions of like. So 2 marks is very easy to gain out of 7 in the queries. So is this clear everyone? Any doubts? Fine. So let me go with the second question. Let me say list all the students whose name has A as a second character. A as second character. This is what the question is. List all the students whose name has A as second character. So what is the condition, Bhavisha? Great, Yash, very good. Yeah, Bhavisha, what is the condition? Yeah, second character must be A. So it means that in a name, second character must be A. So there should be some first character, and that first character can be any character like L, M, A, H, whatever it can be. But second character of the name should be A, and after that there can be any number of characters. Right? Is everyone okay with the question? Has everyone understood this question? It says that first character can be anything, second character must be A, and after A there can be any number of characters. Right? So how to write down this answer? To write down this answer, we will use just a moment. I think okay. Yeah, so answer would be like this. Select star from students where our condition is A. We have allowed that as many characters after A, so percentage. And we said that we require one character before A because A is the second character. So to provide one character or number of characters, right, individually, if you want to provide number of characters individually, then you can provide underscore. So underscore means first character, then A is the second character, and after A you can have as many number of characters. So this is what you have to write. This is what you have to write. So is this clear? Second character. So Yash, again your answer is wrong because here A is in small case and you have written the answer in capital case. So any doubts, anyone? These are the two main concepts. As many number of characters or specific number of characters. Guys, any doubts? Anyone? Students, please respond. Yes or no? Any doubts? Write down the answer for this one then. Man, we cannot write down like this, a percentage 2, because it is nothing, it is of no meaning actually. A percentage 2 means nothing. 2 cannot be matched as a name. So write down the answer for this one now. List all the students who have exactly 6 characters in name. Try to write down the answer for this, everyone. List all the students who has exactly 6 characters in name. That means the name should not be less than 6 characters. The name should not be less than 7 characters. So I've got 2 answers. Very good. Third answer I've got from Bhavisha. Great. Yeah, others, please write down the answer. Okay, very good, Shreyas. Very good, Keval. Others, what are you doing? Give me the answers. Okay, good. Jill, Avesh, Alay. Very good. Good, Nemish, Nandini. So answer will be like select star from students or student, whatever the table name is, where S name like, because we have said that there should be exactly 6 characters, we are going to put 6 underscores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we are going to put 6 underscores for this particular question. So clear with this, guys? Then give me the answer for this. List all the students whose name ends with D has A as third character. The question is not finished yet, so don't try to write down the answer in haste. Has A as third character with total characters 7. With total characters 7. Write down the answer for this now. Superb, guys, very good. Very good answers from Yash, Nemish, Nandini, Shreyas, Mohit, Avesh, Bhavisha, Nishita. So what will be the answer? Select star from students. And what is the first condition? The name should end with D, should have A as a third character, and total characters must be 7. So first I will put up 7 underscores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Right? Now I have the condition that D should be the last. So I'll put the remove the last underscore and put D here. Right? So D is there, and then A should be the third character. So I'll put 1, 2 and this will be the A. So this is the right answer. Clear with this, everyone? Then let's move to the next one. List all the students whose name starts with H or M and ending with. Write down the answer for this. List all the students whose name starts with M or H and ending with S. Yeah, what will be the answer for this? This is the tricky one. So that is what you have to learn. Keval, your answer is incorrect. Yeah, any other one who is trying the answer? Avesh, the answer is incorrect because there is no specific length of characters given here. See properly. Yash, we cannot use in with like operator. We cannot use in with like operator. Keval, again the answer is incorrect. So let me write down the answer for this. So you will be able to know what actually you should write. So answer will be like select star from students where S name like. What is the condition? Either the name should start with H or M and it should end with S. This is what the condition is, right? Name can start with H or M and end with S. So our condition will go like this, like H percentage S or S name like M percentage S. This is the right answer. You have to write down the column name whenever you are using the logical operators. I said you in the early part of this lab session that you have to always write down this. So clear with this, everyone? How to write down this one? What does this mean? S name like H percentage S or S name like M percentage S. So all the students whose name starts with H and ends with S or name starts with M and ends with S, both will be given as an output. Clear guys, everyone? Then we'll move to the last query very quickly. List all the students who have are anywhere in the name. Be quick to write down the answer for this. R can be at any place in the name. Or let me add something more except first place. So let me add something more. R can be at any place except first place. Okay, Yash has given some answer. Others, what does this mean? R can be at any place except first place. That means it should not have R at the first place. So there can be any number of characters or any characters before R. There can be any number of characters after R. So the right answer will be select star from students, right? Where S name like single quotes percentage, that is any number of characters, then R, and then any number of characters, that is percentage. So I hope it is clear with everyone. Avesh, I have not said like that R will be at second position. Avesh and Mohit, I have said it can be at any position. So we can give the any keyword. So any means percentage. Mohit and Avesh. So clear with this like operator, everyone? Any doubts? Anyone with the like operator? Any doubts? Anyone with the like operator? Shall we move ahead? Okay, so we have seen the like operator. This is the like operator, right? Then let us say between we have seen, in, not in we have seen. Let us move to the single row functions. What do you mean by single row functions? It means that you are going to use these functions along with your query. So we have string functions, we have aggregate functions, we have arithmetic functions, we have conversion functions, and we have date functions. So let us see what all these functions are actually. So first function is string functions. So first function is lower function. What do you mean by lower? It converts the given characters into lowercase, lower alphabetical order. So select lower, you can see lower, Ivan Barros, new name as lower from dual. Here dual is the default table of Oracle. We will see what is dual in the Apex when I switch over to Apex after some time. But remember this, dual is the default table of Oracle. So I have select lower Ivan Barros from dual. So the output is this. It has converted the complete text into smaller case or lower case. Then comes upper. Upper means convert all the characters to uppercase, that is upper alphabetical cases, right? So select upper Ivan Barros. So output will be capital Ivan Barros, right? Then init cap. Init cap means make first character of each word capital. Make each first character of each word as capital. So I have Ivan Barros here, right? So it will keep I as capital and B as capital, and all the other characters will be in a smaller case. Only it will have capital as the first character of each word. Here there is a space. So space means two different words. So this is init cap, right? We will go for substring in a moment. Just wait. We'll first look at the those functions which are not that much important. So ASCII means you already learnt what is ASCII in your C language. ASCII means it returns the number value of a particular character. So ASCII of A is small a is 97. ASCII of capital A is 65, and ASCII of this word cure is 99 because the first character is C. So it will the C's ASCII value will be the ASCII value of this particular word. But this is not important. We are not going to deal with this function anywhere in our queries. Anywhere, right? Even in the IT world, you are not going to use this ASCII function anywhere. So don't bother about it. Next is length. That means if you want to find out a length of a particular word, then we are using length function. So select length and this text. So it will have the total number of characters in a particular string. So let us take an example here. Let us say I am writing like this: select length, single quotes, I love Rajkot. So what will be the length of this? What will be the length? I love Rajkot. Others are sleeping. I think so. Right. So the length will be 13. How? This is the first character. Then space is the second character. LOV again the characters. Again space is a character. And RAJKOT will be the characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So this is the length of a given string. So in length we are also considering the white space. Right. So this is length function. L trim, R trim and trim we are going to see in the direct example. I am not going to go through this. And also L pad and R pad I am going to uh, get in that particular direct notepad file. So we'll complete this. Let us complete with the string functions now. Don't see these functions right now. Let's see. So now let us start with the substring function. So it stands for substr. It is mainly used for extracting a part of a string. Extracting a part of string. So the syntax is like this: select substr into bracket. You need to first provide your string, then you need to provide start position, and then you need to provide number of characters. So what does this mean? This is the string given. You have to give the starting position from where you want to extract a particular string. Extract means fetch a particular part of a string. Remove, not remove exactly, but partially remove the particular part of a string. So string is given. You are saying that from this particular character we are going to start extracting, and number of characters means I want to extract these many number of characters. This is optional part. This one is optional. This one is optional. Right? So let us take an example very quickly. So select substr into bracket. Let me write down Marwadi, right, comma 3, comma 3. That is what my question is. Right, so what does this mean? This is the string, right? Marwadi is a string, not the single quotes. Only Marwadi is a string. The starting position is third character, and I want to extract 3 characters. Again, I am repeating, Marwadi is a string. Starting position is third character, and I want to extract 3 characters. The number of characters are 3. So what will be the output of this? The output of this will be C. M is the first character, A is the second character, R is the third character. So we'll start with R. And I want only 3 characters from R. Right? So R, W, A. So these are the 3 characters that will be extracted as an output. Right? First number is starting position. Second number is number of characters you want to extract. Yes, Yash. Okay, you have given the answer for Mohit. Okay, fine. Great. So is this clear with everyone? 3, comma 3. Let us say I have the same question. Marwadi 2, comma 5. Give me the answer for this. The starting position is 2 and number of characters I want to extract is 5. So what is the second character in the list? A is the second character. And how many characters we want? 5. So A, R, W, 3 characters, 4 characters A, and these are the 5 characters. So this will be your answer. A, R, W, A, D. Very good. So I think it is clear with everyone. So give me the answer for this then. Select substring 4 comma nothing, only 4. I have not given you the number of characters. That means I said already that it is an optional part, right? So if I am not giving the number of characters to be extracted, what will be the output? So what does this mean? This means starting position, right? So what is the starting position? Fourth character. So what is the fourth character? MARW. So W is a fourth character, right? So if you are not given the total number of characters to be extracted, right? I am not given the number of characters to be extracted. It is going to extract all the characters till the end of a string. What it will do, if you are not giving the number of characters to be extracted, then it will extract all the characters from starting of the starting position till the end of a string, till the end of a string. So this is the answer will be 4 comma 0, that is 4 comma nothing has been given. So answer will be start from the fourth character, that is W, and extract all the characters till the end of a string. So answer will be WADI. Clear with this everyone? This is substring. Clear everyone? Fine. So let's move to the next function. The next function is ltrim. So what does this does? It removes all the characters that is matched with a string from leftmost side of the given string. This is what ltrim does. It removes all the characters that is matched with a string from the leftmost side of a given string. So let us take a simple example. I don't want to go very much deep in this. So I'll just do like this. Select ltrim into bracket. I will take one word and comma I will provide n. So what does this mean? You need to remove this character, the character given after comma. So remove this particular character from the leftmost side of a string. So what is the given string? Nisha is the given string. NISHA is the given string. What will be the leftmost side? Leftmost side of the string will be this one, my cursor, right? Now remove all the characters that is matched with a string, that is this string, from the leftmost side of the given string. So you have to remove this character starting from the leftmost side of this string wherever there is a match. So let us take the leftmost side, and what is the first character from the leftmost side? N. Is N matching with this N? Yes. So remove N from this. Then what is the leftmost side? ISHA. So pick up I. So is I matching with this N? No. So this is your answer. This is your answer. Whatever characters are getting matched, that is what will be removed. Let us take one more example. Select ltrim single quotes, comma, single quotes, again n I want to remove, but the string that is to be used is Give me the answer for this. Got some answers? Okay, so let's see how it will work. What it does, it removes all the characters, right, from the left hand side of a given string. So which is the leftmost string? This one. Which is the character to be matched? This one, right? So first character is n. N is matching with n. Yes, so remove this n. Again pick up the leftmost character of the string, that is n. Is it matching with this? Yes. So again remove this n. Again pick up the first character of the leftmost side, that is n. Match it with this. Yes, it is matching. So remove this. Again pick up the leftmost character of this, that is I. Is it matching with n? No. Then stop. Then we are not going to move further. Once we get a mismatch, we will stop at that particular point. So answer will be Inisha. Inisha. Clear with this, everyone? Is this clear now? Okay. So similarly, with as we have our L trim, we have R trim. R trim means remove all the set of characters that is matched with a string from rightmost side of a given string. From the rightmost side of a given string. So R trim, let us say Nisha, comma A. So what will be the answer? That means first of all you need to move to the rightmost side of a string. So what is the rightmost side? Here. Now pick up the last character or the first character from the left rightmost side or right hand side. What is the first character from the right side? A. Is A matching with the given comparison string? Yes, it is matching. So remove it. Again pick up the rightmost character H. Is H matching with A? No. So this is your answer, NISH. NISH. Right? So this is R trim. Let us take one more example. Let me take give me the answer for this. Nisha Haha, and character to be trimmed is A. What will be the answer? Yes, so we will move to the rightmost side. Compare the first character, it is matching, so remove. Again move to the right hand side. Compare the first character, it is matching, so remove. Again move to the right hand side. Compare the first character, it is not matching, so stop. So this is your answer. Right, everyone? So this is your answer, NISHAH. So I hope it is clear. This is R trim, and let me go for the last one, that is trim. Trim means remove all the characters that is matched with a string from left and rightmost side of a given string. So we are going to remove the characters from both the sides. We are going to remove the characters from both the sides. So give me the answer for this. Just a moment. Yeah, R trim here. And here it will be only trim. So give me the answer for this one first. Give me the answer for this. Remove all the set of characters that are being compared from left hand side as well as the right hand side. So first what we will do, we will move to the left hand side, compare the first character. Is it matching? Yes. So remove it. So n will be removed. So n is removed. Again take the leftmost side, I. I is matched with n? No. Then move directly to the right hand side. So what is the first character of the right side? N. Is it matching? Yes. So remove it. Then what is the next character from the right side? That is A. It is not matching. So we will stop. So answer will be ISSAA. Clear with this, everyone? Right. Okay. No, this is not the question. Don't worry. I am removing this question. Don't give me the answer for this one. I think this is clear. Trim function, everyone. Is this clear? Okay. Then let us move to the next function. The next function is, let me write down here, lpad. So what actually it is? Let us say adds the character given in the string and make a string equivalent to given length. So again, read this definition, everyone. Don't go for these examples, only this one. The definition I am talking about. Add the character given in the string on the left side of a given string and make a string equivalent to given length. Here the spelling of length is wrong. Right. So what do you understand from this? First of all, we need to add some character, and we are going to add that character on the left side of a given string. Right? We are going to add the characters on the left hand side of a given string. And also we are going to make the complete string equivalent to given length. So we are also going to change the length of a given string. So the syntax is like this. lpad, then you need to provide string, then you need to provide length, and you need to provide character. This is what the syntax is. Right, so let us take an example. Select lpad into bracket. Let us say string is hello. The length is 10 and the characters to be put is single quotes plus. So what does this mean? Hello is the given string. The total length of the output string should be 10, and if there are characters which are remaining to be added, then you put plus in that particular part. That means our output length should be of 10 length, right? So, and given string is only of 5 characters. So to make this given string of 10 length, what we are going to do, we are going to add 5 plus to the left hand side of a particular string. So answer will be like this, plus 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 and hello. So we have added, Mohit, answer is incorrect, that is rpad. Yeah, great. So we need to just match this particular length. If the number of characters are missing with this length, put the given character on the left hand side. Clear with this? So the similarly we will have lpad and rpad. So rpad is, anyone? What will be the rpad? Rpad will be adding a given set of string to the right hand side. On the right side and make it equivalent. So the syntax remains same. Here L or rpad. So what is the answer of this now? Rpad. Compare the total number of length first of all. So 10 characters are required, but there are only 5 characters, and because it is right pad, add this plus for 5 times on the right hand side of hello. This is what the answer is. So hello, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Clear with this, everyone? So these are your some of the string functions. Clear with this, everyone? Any doubts in any of these functions? Substring, ltrim, rtrim, lpad, trim and rpad. Any doubts? Anyone? Or is it clear? Is this clear, guys? Yes or no? Okay, then let's continue with our PPT and see other functions. So the second type of functions are arithmetic functions. So arithmetic functions means absolute function. We are not going to use it anywhere, but just see it is going to give us the absolute value of a given number, right? So minus 15 will be converted to 15. Then power function means x raised to y. So for raised to functions, we are going to use power, where m is x and n is y. So m raised to n. So 3 raised to 2 means 9. 3 raised to 2 means 9. That is power function. Then we have a round function. Here the answer is incorrect, so don't read this answer. But what does this round function says? This is the number given to you, 15.91, and comma, it has been given as a 1. So it means that you have to round this function to 1 decimal point. You have to round this particular number to only 1 decimal point. So what will be the answer? Anyone? 15.91 rounded to 1 decimal point. 15.91 rounded to 1 decimal point. Exactly, the answer will be 15.9. Right? So this is round function. Then we have SQRT, that is square root function. If you want to find out a square root of any particular number, this is the function SQRT, right? Then we have greatest function. See, if you are using greatest for numbers, it will be same as your max function, right? So see here, select greatest 4, 5, 17. So these are the numbers 4, 5, 17. So which one is the greatest? Greatest is 17, right? But if you are using greatest function for some characters, see 4 is given as a character, 5 is given as a character, sorry, and 17 also is given as a character. So in this, what it will do? It will match the first character of each of the characters. So what is the first character? 4. What is the first character? 5. What is the first character? 1. Which one of these is greatest? Which one of these 4, 5 and 1 is greatest? 5, obviously, right? So that is why the answer of greatest of characters will be 5. Right? Clear with this greatest? We are not going to use this greatest function anywhere. Don't worry. Similarly, we have least function. If we use it with the numbers, it will work as a minimum number. So select least 4, 5, 17. The minimum number is 4. That we know. But if you use it as for characters, again it will match the first character. So 4, 5 and 1. So 1 is the least of this. So 17 is the answer of list. Clear? Clear till here, everyone? Clear with this part? Let's move ahead. Truncate, we don't want to do it. Now let's go for floor and ceil functions. Floor means for any given decimal number, it is going to give the number by removing the decimal points. By removing the decimal points. So if it is 24.8, it is going to remove all the decimal points and give the number as 24. If it is 13.15, it will remove this 0.15 and give the number as 13. So floor means the number itself by removing the decimal points. And what is ceil? Ceil means the next whole number without decimal point. The next whole number without decimal point after that particular number. So if it is 24.8, the next whole number without decimal point will be 25, right? After 24, 25 always comes. So 25 is the answer. If it is 13.15, so what comes after 13? That comes 14. So 14 is the answer. So ceil will give the next value and floor will give you the same value. only removal of decimal points is done. Only we are removing the decimal points. Clear this much, everyone? Right, let's move ahead with the next functions, that is aggregate functions. And we have seen these aggregate functions in relational algebra chapter. Minimum, average, sum, count, and sum, count, minimum, max, average. The main four functions. So average will return an average of a given values that we know. Minimum will return the minimum value of the given set of values. Count we will see later. We'll go for max first. Max will give us the maximum value of the given set of values, and sum will add all the values given in a set of values. Right? So this is the syntax. Select sum, select max, into bracket you are going to provide the set of values or the column name. Right? Now let's see count. Count will provide the number of records available in a particular column. What it says, count is going to provide the number of records available in a particular column. So it will not consider any null values. If a column value is null, that count is not going to consider in counting. Right? If you have empty space as a value in a column, that particular part will not be considered in a counting. Right? So this is count function, and count star is again a different function than count. If you have null, if you have empty value in a particular column, then also it will consider it in a counting. So counting star considers everything, null values, duplicate values, everything. But count is not going to consider null values. Right? So these are the 6 aggregate functions. Again, an important question for your exam, explain aggregate functions in SQL. So this is what you have to write as the answer, right? This 6. Then comes the date function, no, then comes conversion functions. So conversion functions I am going to directly discuss in the Apex. So I am not discussing it right now. Okay, so I am just keeping this. I will show you the direct demo in the particular Apex only in few minutes. The next is to_date function. But nowadays we are not using this function at all. The reason is actually this function was used to convert any character data type date to date data type. Again I am repeating, if you are using to insert a date, you are using varchar2 data type. To insert a date, you are using varchar2 data type, and then if you want to convert it to date data type, then this function is used. But nowadays we are not using this because we have date data type itself available in Oracle. We have date data type itself available in Oracle. So this function we are not going to use. Right? So is this clear till here, everyone? I will take 10 more minutes because we are going to complete the part. It is going to get load for you, but it is important. Is this clear till here? Date we are not going to use. To_care I am going to teach you directly live on the Apex. Okay, fine. So let's go with the last function, that is date functions. We are not using date functions that much in our queries except this function. Only this function is used many a times. Sysdate means system's date. Whatever is the today's date, if you want to find out today's date, you will write down sysdate. That's it. So select sysdate from dual. So it will provide whatever the date of your system is, it is going to provide you as an output. If you want to add some months to your date, right, then you can use this particular function, add month d comma n. That means add months sysdate, that is today's date, and add 4 months to it. So this is the output. Sysdate is 3rd April 13. I have added 4 months, so May, June, July, August. So 4 months have been added to this particular date. So this is what add months is. Then next is months between. So next function is months between. So if you want to find out that between two particular dates, what are the total number of months, then you can use this particular function. So let us say months between 25th December 81 and 25th December 79. So this the output will be 24. There are 2 years, that is 24 months. Right? If we provide the lower date first and higher date later, it is going to give you the answer in negative. But remember here, if we are using this function, then it will give you the whole number as a day, a month. It will not give you the point answer like 24.33. That means 24 months and 3 days. Or it would like 25.18. That means 25 days and 25 months and 18 days. It is not going to give you output as this one. It will only give you output as a whole number, as a 24 or 25. So that is why only we are not going to use this function. Then comes next day. Next day means, let us say you have a date with you and you want to find out a particular day, that what will be the date of this particular day. Then you can use this next day. See here, next day, today's date is this date, and I want to find out what will be the date of next Friday. What will be the date of next Friday? So this is what this function is used for. Next day, sys date, comma, Friday. So sys date is 3rd September 13 and next Friday will be on 6th of September. So this is next day. The next two functions and last two functions are last day. So if you want to find out what will be the last day of a month, you can use this particular function. But we are not using this because we already know that last date or last day of a particular month we can directly know from the month name. So we are not going to use this particular function. And round we are not at all going to use. This is invalid and incorrect. So nothing required for round function also. So these are the functions that are the part of SQL functions, right? So we are not going to deal with date functions more. We are only going to deal with aggregate and arithmetic functions, right? So now let me move on to the Apex and let's see some of the things very quickly and then we can wind up. So is it visible everyone, whatever I am writing? Yes or no? Is it visible whatever I am writing? Whatever text I have written, it is visible or not? Fine, okay. So I am first showing you the dual table, that is default table of Oracle. So select star from dual. So see, you can see the color of dual. It is like purple or violet, right? So it is a default table and default command of the Oracle. So let us see what it contains. It contains one column called dummy, right? It contains one column called dummy and only one row called X. That means this table is a dummy table and you can use it for just some different types of functionings purpose, nothing else. You can use it anyhow you want to use, but this is the dummy table. So you will not be able to get the exact output and you will not be able to store some output in this. You cannot store the output. It is temporary storage. Once you remove the query, the answer will be removed from the database or this particular table. So dummy is the column name, X is the value, right? So this is the particular table, that is dual table. Now let us take some of the examples very quickly. Let me move to your practical number 3. Right, so I'm going to perform this 7, 8, 9, 10 queries and we will stop after this. I'm going to perform 7, 8, 9 and 10 queries. Right, so let me go to my Apex and let's see what is the first question. Display system date. That means we want to display what is the date of my system. So what command we are going to use? Anyone? What we will write? If I want to find out my system's date, what is the function that we will use? Quickly, students, what is the function that we will use? We will use, instead of star, we will write sysdate. Sysdate means systems date. Right? Select sysdate from dual. Run this. You will get, actually, that's just a moment. Invalid SQL statement, I think. Right, so I have got the answer as sysdate and the date answer is 22/7/2020. So this is the sysdate function. Clear with this, everyone? Select sysdate from dual. So yeah, not sys underscore date, Mohit, only sysdate. So for practical 3, PR3, query number 7, the answer is this. I have given you in the chat. Select sysdate from dual. Clear with this, everyone? Then let's go for the next query. Find the date 15 days after today's date. Find the date 15 days after today's date. So what does this mean? I need to add 15 days to my system date. I have to add 15 days to my system's date. So what I will write? Here I will write down like this. Select sysdate plus 15. That's it. Select sysdate plus 15 from dual. So 15 means add 15 days to it directly. So run this. So we have got the answer sysdate plus 15, and what is the 15th date? That is 6th of August 2020. That is 6th of August 2020. So this is what the answer is. Right? So the 8th query answer would be this one. You can see your chat box. The answer is select sysdate plus 15. Clear till here, everyone? Any doubts? Anyone? Now see here, the 9th question is perform the following operations. Right, so I have to perform 5 into 5. I have to perform 34 plus 34. I have to perform 1000 divided by 300. I have to perform length of this and also display this. Right, so I'm going to show you 3 of them. I will show you this one, or I'll show everyone, don't worry. So let's start with this. So select 5 cross 5 from dual. So it will multiply two numbers and give you the answer as 25. So this is your answer for 9th first query. The answer is this. Then for 9th second query, the answer will be, anyone? Can you give me the answer plus this? 34 plus 34. What will be the answer? Exactly, 9th second query will be select 34 plus 34 from dual. So let me write down here 34 plus 34. 34 plus 34. Let us see the answer. So this is what the answer is, 68. Then next is 1000 divided by 30, 300. So this is 1000 divided by 300. So let us see what is the answer, 3.33333. So this is the answer of your 9th third one. This is the answer of 9th third one. Then the fourth one is find out the length of this particular string. So what function we are going to use here? I want to find out the length of this string. So which function I will use? I want to find out UVPCE length. Can anyone give me the function name? So the function name will be length into bracket. You need to provide your string. So length UVPC from dual. So your answer will be 5 characters. You can see here. Right. So this is the answer of 9,4. So for ninth query, fourth option, the answer is this one. And let's move to the last one. Before I go to the last one, can you tell me the answer for this one? 10th one. Give me the answer for the 12th. Find the date 20 days before today's date. That means I want to see the date 20 days before system's date. So what will be the answer of this? Write down the answer in the chat box. Provide me the date that is 20 days before a given date. Very good, Mohit. Exactly. So what we will going to write? We will write sys date minus 20. Right? We added 15 days. So now we are subtracting 20 days. So sys date minus 20 is 2nd of July 2020. So this is the answer of 10th query. This is the answer of 10th query. So now we are remained with the 9th query, 5th answer, right? So let's see what is the 5th one. Display only the month of system date. So what is the system date that you know? That is 22nd July 2020. But what it is saying, I only want to show the month of a given date. So for that, I have to convert my date now. So I am going with the conversion function. Last 1 minute topic, and then it's almost over. So what I'm going to do is I will write down like here, select this date from dual. So what is the answer? Let us check first of all. Answer is 22/07/2020. But what I want in the question, I want to display only the month of my date, right? So for that, what I will do, I will use the conversion function. And that function is to_char into bracket. It will take two arguments. The first argument will be the date, and second argument we need to say what you want to display. You want to display here the month of a given date. So I will just write down month. Into single quotes I will write down month. So because I want to show only month, I will write down here month. Sys date, month from dual. So let's see whether it is working or not. Yes, so it has shown us that July is the month. Let us see if I want to say what is the day on this particular date. What is the day on a particular date? So I will write down here day. So day means it will give me the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day it is, that is Wednesday. If I want to find out year, then I will write down year. So run it and you will get year as 2020. Right? If you want to have some specific format, let us say DD dash, maybe it won't work, but let us see it is working or not. DD dash MON. Let us see it is working or not. I don't know exactly. Right, so it is working. It is giving you date as well as the month. So whatever format you want to change, whatever format you want to display for a date, you have to use this to_char conversion function. This is what I skipped in that particular PPT, to_char function. Clear with this, guys? Everything. So I'll copy paste this particular query in that particular 9,5. So it is quite easy for you to refer. So students, make sure whatever query answers I have written here in this chat box, you copy it or you store it somewhere, because after this meeting is over, you won't be able to access these answers. So make sure if you are not able to get it, copy these answers. See, starting from this 7 here, you can copy all these answers till 9-5. Starting from 7 to 9-5, you can copy it. So is it clear, everyone? Any doubts in this? Anyone now? Is there any doubts? Anyone? So now what is your task? till your next lab. That is next Wednesday. Before next Wednesday, what you have to do? You have to complete all these queries. You have to start with practical number 3, right? Give the heading practical 3. Skip this part. Skip these tables and start with these queries. We already did these 6 queries in our first session, right? So this 6 plus this 4 that I have written in the answers already. So this 10 queries, and try to perform these functions based queries. Try to perform these queries. Till here you have to do. You have to perform 10 plus 10, 20 queries and prepare a document for the same. This is the task for you till the next lab. Right? So here it is the question like write the query for the following. So you can use my PPT and write down the answer directly for this. I will be sharing you the PPT today in your email, not on e-content. I will be sharing this PPT on your email. So just check it after 4 p.m. that you got the PPT or not. So try to use all these functions and find out the answers for all these things. So these 10 and these 10 queries you have to complete before next lab. Am I clear with everyone? 20 queries to be completed. Is this clear with everyone? So okay, so I think we can end our lab session now here. It was too lengthy, but all the important things have been completed today. So I hope everyone has got everything. Still, if you are not able to get anything, try to go through this video again after 3 p.m. or you can also refer the PPT that I'm going to mail you. Still, if you have any doubts, you can mail me or WhatsApp me, right? So students, CBET students, I will be meeting you directly now on next Monday for the lectures, right? So till then, stay safe, stay home. Have a good day, students. Thank you very much.